as we go to Bakersfield, where we are joined by Raphael Lavoie, who's off to a pretty good start with 7 points in his first 5 games. Also had 2 goals and assist and a really spirited tilt in his last match. Raphael, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Hey, I'm excellent. Now, Raph, I remember watching you a lot in junior, and you know what? You were kind of bully, and I mean that in a good way on the ice. I didn't see you throw the mitts a whole bunch, but man, that was not only was it a spirited scrap, it went on for quite a while. What got you so fired up?
I don't know. Honestly, I didn't really want to fight. I had 2 goals. I was trying to get a hat trick, but things just got heated after the whistle, and kind of threw his gloves at me. He started punching me, so I was like, all right, well, let's go.
Well, you did pretty well, and wisely with guys in their helmets on. You throwing the uppercut, so much less chance of hurting your hands, which have been pretty soft early on. Raphael, you have picked up at the start of this season how you finished off last year in the American League. The last 40 games, your GM Keith Gretzky said you were by far their best player, and so far through 5 games, you've continued that. How have you been able to? And what did you learn maybe last year as far as consistency at the American League level?
Well, you just have to be consistent. It's an everyday thing. It's like this is your job. Like you're a pro hockey player, you got to find a way to. Doesn't matter how you feel, how the travel's going, how your body's feeling. You got to find a way to perform, and I feel like that's a process that takes a while to understand and be able to apply on a regular basis. But I think I'm starting to get it. So I'm trying to be a factor for the team every game or every time I'm on the ice.
Can you describe, now that you've had a few years of pro hockey, just kind of how difficult it is to find consistency, right? Because obviously every player would like to have it, but it's not easy. What was the hardest part for you about finding that consistency at the pro level?
Being able to be effective without scoring every game. The big thing when you play junior is that you don't necessarily have to play the game the right way to be successful. If you have a good shot, if you're faster than guys, if you're smarter, you produce a lot, and you don't necessarily have to play the way that you have to play at the pro level. But when you get pro, you have to, there's very few guys that are able to be on the score sheet or can score goals every night. So you have to find a way to still help your team and not just be visible out there.
Raphael Lavoie joins us. So for you, because scoring goals, that's kind of what you've done your whole career. How have you found, what was the best way for you to contribute if it wasn't goals and assists?
Being physical. If you get pucks on the forecheck, pucks going deep, you're going against the top D-man on the other side. Well, you gotta try to hurt him a little, just stop him from him going in the rush on the other side if they break it out. Just little things that, doesn't appear on the score sheet. But if the whole game you play 15, 16 minutes and every time you hit that guy, well, he's probably not having the best time out there. So he's not scoring or moving as freely as he'd like to.
Raphael, for you, how important is patience for you this year? Obviously, you know what, you've been at the American League. You played very well in the second half of last season, once you kind of got 100% healthy after your injury. And, you came to camp, you wanted to make the team, and unfortunately that didn't pan out. How patient or how important is patience for you this year? Are you not even worrying about the NHL? You just think about the AHL. How do you balance that?
It's a long process, right? There's very few guys that get to do the jump from junior AHL right to pro. It's a process. The goal is to get better, whether I'm in the NHL or the AHL. Every time you go to the rink, you're trying to improve stuff on your game. So I just view it that way. And when it's going to be time, it's going to be time to hopefully go in the NHL, and hopefully the longer I'm here, the more ready I'll be once I get there, hopefully.
Are you on the penalty kill right now?
Trying. I am sometimes towards the end of it. I get a few shifts here and there. I feel like we're everybody's trying to get on the special teams, so it's it's tough sometimes to have consistently a lot of penalty kill.
Is that something when you talk to Coach Chalk about, you say, hey, you know what? That's something that I want in my game. I want the opportunity to be a penalty killer, because then when you come up to the NHL, if you're not on the power play, if you're on penalty kill, at least you're going to get some ice time outside of 5-on-5. And you know what? That's pretty much a must for guys. Can you have a conversation like that? You go into his room and politely say, hey, I need to be on the penalty kill?
Yeah, well, I've asked, and because exactly like you're saying, if you're not on the power play in the big club, well, you need to find a way to be effective, and whether that be playing on the PK or having more defensive role, you want to be able to do that. So it definitely starts here. I've had a talk or two with Chalker about being on the PK, and it's something we're exploring. And I'll definitely try to bring that into my game.
Raphael Lavoie joins us, leading the Bakersfield Condors. He's got 4 goals, 7 points, 17 penalty minutes. Although Hoffenmeyer, I guess, has you slightly ahead there. He's got 23. But personally, it's been a very good start for you, Raphael. And then kind of give me your thoughts overall on how the team has played through 5 games.
We've played good. I feel we got a lot of veteran presence. We have a few guys that are injured. I feel like we're going to be really good once everybody's back and everybody's healthy and ready to go. We definitely have a good group of guys down here right now. Yeah,
well, you're 4-1, and maybe most impressively, you've only allowed 8 goals in the 5 games. The system's being very good, but I know Calvin Pickard in a few games has really played well for you, and any successful team is going to have good goaltending. So you look at kind of the balanced scoring, the tight defense, and then the goaltending. You mentioned the injuries for your team, like Lane Peterson is out, Toffoli's out. Like, you guys had quite a few guys hurt, actually.
Yeah, we do. We are missing a few bodies on the team, but yeah, these guys are picking up some ice time. They're doing well, like you said. The defense is good, and picks and net is just unbelievable. Also, Rodrigue has been really good too. So everybody, we're playing really good as a group right now when it's showing on the ice.
Raphael Lavoie joins us. Your schedule really, like, you got 1 game this weekend, and you kind of don't get into the thick of it for another few weeks. Are you wishing you guys were playing more games right now?
To be honest, it's kind of nice right now. We have some days off. Our schedule isn't too bad. We get to practice a lot, work on systems and things. But we know that down the road our schedule is going to be pretty hard, because teams are playing a lot more games than us right now. So we're gonna have to make up for it. So it's going to be a lot harder later on. But it is a little bit fun right now to have some time to relax.
Raphael, have you become a leader on that team?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I say that in what way do you feel like you wanted to become more of a leader, and how did you go about it?
Well, try to lead by example. Play a game physical, play a mean game, sort of say, like, take pucks to net. I don't necessarily play an easy game. So, I'm definitely trying to compete, trying to do the hard things out there, and, just try to show the example for the other guys that, like, if I do it, everybody should do it, right?
Yeah. No, that's fair. What did you learn in the preseason this year in the NHL? Was there anything afterwards you said, okay, I played the preseason games and it's like, okay, this is what I want to work on when I go down to Bakersfield? Was there anything from those preseason games that you left saying, this is what I want to work on my game when I'm down in Bakersfield?
Just the pace of play is faster, making your decisions. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing. Like, everything happens faster. The guys, some guys are, like, I want to say the average skating is faster, but mostly it's every play happens quicker. Like, pucks on your stick, pucks got to get off, and you got to find people on the ice. You got to know what you're doing just quicker. That's the biggest thing, like being ahead of the play, sort of stuff.
Okay, so how can you work on that at the American League level? Does it come in practice? How do you get better at that?
Good question. Just same thing. I'm trying, just keep your head up and try to try to know what's going to happen on the ice, and then you can play with that, and then you create more scoring chances if you're aware of what people are doing on the ice. And I think that's the biggest thing, is being aware of not what you want to do, but what other guys are doing. So then you can play with that, and then you can find open areas, not where you want to go, but where you can go, and what your teammates are doing. Where are they going? Where can you find open space to produce some scoring chances and everything.
And Raphael, this kind of might be a personal question, but I feel like I have to ask it anyway. So you're a young guy. We've seen what you've done. You're right on the cusp of being recalled to the orders. I think anybody who's watching realizes that it's something that's probably going to happen. When you look at it and you say, okay, you know what, Sam Gagner's coming up, Ernie's going down, and it's just for a fourth line role. As a young player, do you understand that and say, as much as I want to be in the NHL, that it might be better for my development playing huge minutes in the American League than playing 7 minutes a night as a fourth line guy? Or you're like, no, I just want to get to the NHL. How do you balance that, and how do you look at it?
I mean, it's tough to balance. There's both sides of it, where, like I said, it's a long process that, the goal is not to get in the NHL as quick as possible, it's to stay there as long as possible, right?
Yeah.
So, but on the flip side, you remember when you're a little kid and you just start playing hockey, the only thing you want to do is play in the NHL. I'd love to go sit on the bench and just play 7 minutes a night, but I'd still be in Edmonton Oilers, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely for development, being down here just might be better, but I'd still love to be in Edmonton.
No, that's a really good answer, and I think that's totally valid. I love that. It's the goal isn't to get to the NHL as quick as possible; it's to stay in the NHL as long as possible. And it is hard to be patient, I think, for any of us, and probably for high level athletes, maybe even more difficult. Because as you mentioned, man, I just want to get there and hope I can stay there. In the meantime, you keep working on your game, your physical, your scoring, your confidence has to be at an all-time high right now. You must be very much looking forward to getting on the ice every day.
Yeah, there's a fine line between too much confidence and arrogance, but yeah, there's definitely confidence is at a good place right now. So I'm gonna do everything I can to keep it there.
And some players say that, you know what, a little bit of arrogance isn't a bad thing when you're on the ice.
No, for sure. It's you need some swagger to your game, but yeah, you don't want too much of it, right? You still have to respect everybody and your opponents, but yeah, confidence is a good thing. It helps you. It helps.
Oh, for sure. And lastly, you mentioned you have some extra days off. So what do you do on your days off in Baco?
Play golf. We had some team events. We went to Chargers game down in LA.
Okay.
We're traveling a little bit. Everybody's we're doing team events. We're going for team lunches and stuff like that and whatnot. We had a Halloween party yesterday. So yeah, just team bonding.
Who had the best Halloween costume?
I want to say Pedersen. He came in as a Costco hot dog, and he had his fiance at the. I think she was. I don't know how to say it in English. She was. There was a girl working the stand, and he was the hot dog.
Oh, yeah. She was the vendor.
Yeah.
She was the hot dog vendor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She was a hot dog vendor. She had a little box and everything, and she had the whole outfit with her Costco name on herself. And he came in as a big hot dog, all garnished. So, but yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, no. What did you go as?
I went as I was some milk. I was a cardboard. I was some milk. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Raphael, continued success for both you and the team. 4-1 start for the Condors. 4 goals, 7 points in 5 games. So a great start individually, great start for the team. Continued success. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.